Hello again. So, episode 4 of my PdWebParty mini tutorial things. So, today, I'm doing all these videos today. So, right now, I want to carry on in the last one, which was about taking a sound file and triggering it. So, let's take that to the next level. So, I've got another little patch I'll show in the browser here. So it's a sound of a like pencil scribbling or something, but this time it's looping. Okay, so you can probably tell what's going on there. This is a pitch. When I go down below, it goes reversed. It's a little hard to tell with this particular sound file that it's reversing, but it is. And then up here, it's going faster, and up here, down here, it's going fast and reversed. This is a volume slider, and this just starts the loop. Okay, so how did I make it? Now, let's have it open. Let's open it up. Is it already open? It's already opened. Okay, cool. So here it is, as it has been for every patch so far. This subpatcher doesn't show up in the browser because it's a subpatcher. It's an object, and only some of the GUI objects show up in the browser, and that's normal. So I'm going to click it and open it up. Now, I've done the same thing as I did in the last tutorial, which was I used this little trick for loading a sound ahead of time and then saving the patch. So this is my sound here. This is my scribbly pencil sound or whatever it is. And it's saved in these arrays. So watch the previous video if you want a deeper explanation of that, but I did that by choosing the file, picking the file, and then it loaded it, and then I don't need to think about it anymore. Then I've saved it. I'm getting the size of the sound file over here in samples. Then I'm calculating the number of milliseconds that is. And this time, in my last video, you actually watched me delete this from the last patch. I can delete this extra little number here. Now I'm generating the frequency. So I'm just making a little calculation, 1,000 divided by the length of the sound in milliseconds. That gives me a frequency. So like how many times per second do I need to run a loop to read this sound file at normal pitch. And then I'm just building a little looper down here. So for receive loop, that's this toggle. So let's have a look at it, properties. And my send symbol is loop. And as always, in all of these episodes, I need to give it a receive symbol as well for it to show up online. And then I'm making a volume slider, volume, and receive volume. And then the last one, which I haven't done in the previous one, is pitch and receive pitch. Okay. Oh, now, another thing to show on my pitch is that I'm setting the output range from -3 to 3. This is purely personal preference. You can do this in a number of different ways. The way I'm going to do this, an output of 1 would just play the sound at a normal pitch, and a -1 would play the sound at a regular pitch backwards. I'm going -3 to 3 because it's quite a fun range. It's literally just chosen for the fun, because it means that when I'm playing, especially in the middle, I can do that kind of squibbly squibble sound, which is really fun. I really like it. You could very easily just have this go from 0 to 1 and then have like a reverse toggle instead. Or from 0 to 10 and have a reverse toggle, or have it go from -100 to 100. If you start making it go past sort of 30 or 40, maybe a bit lower, you'll actually hear it as a pitch, which is fun. It'll probably sound pretty terrible with this sound, but you can make a really bad sort of wavetable synthesizer using this method. So going back to my patch, so receive loop is pressing on or off. So that's 0 to 1. That's then being multiplied by my loop frequency. So this is how I'm kind of making it start and stop, right? I'm multiplying my loop frequency by 0 or by 1. When it's 0, my my phaser that I'm using to read my sound file goes to 0, so it doesn't go. And then when it's 1, it gets multiplied by the normal length, so it gets so then it plays back at a normal speed. Except I'm taking that number and running it through another calculator, which is my pitch. So that's where I'm getting -3 to 3, and I have to use this little method, trigger bang float, to make sure that the calculation gets made every time the number changes. And then that gives me a calculation for a frequency that I'm sending to phasers. So this is quite a slow frequency. This will be like 0.6 or something, because the sound is a couple seconds long. And so it'll create a slow moving sound wave or sawtooth wave that goes from 0 to 1 and then back again. Then that multiplies by the length of the sound in samples, and then I read it using tab read 4, and finally I just send it out in a volume controller, and there's my sound. So that's how I'm controlling my sound. So that's how I'm playing a sound file back, looping it, controlling the pitch with volume and an on-off button. Pretty straightforward. Okay, so obviously if you don't understand any of this, similarly to all of the other patches, just grab the things that you will need, right? This is the sort of minimum thing for doing this, these controls with one sound. You could even get rid of all this if once you're happy with the sound that you've loaded in, but you may as well leave it in case you want to change the sound in the future. And if you want to do all of this, you'll just have to, you can copy this whole thing, and you'll just need to change the names if you want to have another sound file playing. For example, if you want to have 2 or 3 or 4 layered sound files all playing, you'll just need to take this and rename everything. So I think I'll show that in my next tutorial.